Broadcasting from the Dixon Petunia Festival Sweetland Studios, this is Along the Rock.
Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Along the Rock, our podcast that pays homage to the people of the Sauk Valley and the river that runs through it. My name is Mark Morris. I'll be your host. My guest today is Sata Prescott.
Hello.
Thank you for, I don't know if handshaking is appropriate in this event, but I will shake your hand anyway, because that's how we do it these days. Sata, and he is part of the Ragnarok Rampage 2025, Valkyrie, Things with Wings.
Yes.
Start explaining.
So I'm part of a group of medievalists called the Society for Creative Anachronism. Okay. Our local group, the local club that you are in, is the Baron of Carraig Ban. I am in fact your liege lord, the Baron of Carraig Ban.
Okay.
So the Barony of Carraig Ban puts on this annual event called Ragnarok Rampage, usually mid-June, doing medieval events and medieval LARP and roleplay, sporting activity, sword and shield fighting, archery, feasting, true love, anything you can think of that's from the way back when times.
Okay. When you say true love, are we talking Woodstock here or what?
Oh, I was making a reference to Princess Bride, which is one of the landmark texts of the medievalist crowd.
All right. Well, when people hear this, my feeling is, I'm just guessing, but my feeling is that they will probably equate it with one of the Renaissance fairs that we hear about every now and then. How is it alike? How is it different?
There's actually a lot of overlap between the SCA and Renaissance fairs, and the SCAs will often be in attendance as entertainment at Renaissance fairs. Basically, the general difference is that Renaissance fairs are meant to be an entertainment, a show, and involve a lot of like fantasy. So dragons and dungeons, or reverse that, fairy wings, that kind of thing. There's like steampunk days at Renaissance fairs. Mm-hmm. Whereas the SCA is more about a creative group of people recreating history, doing what's called experimental archaeology. So like we try to find the historical basis for everything we do. We are creative about it, but we try to base it in some sense of reality. So pretty much anything that we can find that existed on this planet before 1600, we're interested in and try to replicate.
I guess the focus being on Viking and Nordic era background?
Well, Ragnarok Rampage started as an event that was focused on Viking things, but now that it's been going for more than 20 years, it's expanded or it's shifted based on people's interest. This year, our theme is Valkyries or Things with Wings. So people can take that very, very Nordic, or they can take it in other directions, so long as there's a feather or a flight involved.
Okay. Who came up with this idea originally? Do you know?
So there is apparently a baroness who now lives somewhere far to the west who started the event at least 20-some years ago.
Okay.
But we don't have great data on when. I do know that for about 15 years, each theme was based on a Norse god. So I know there was a year that was dedicated to Loki, so all of the competitions were chaos-themed.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Okay. So, and we had talked a little bit before we started recording this show that records are not always as consistent as you might like.
Certainly. Since it's a group of hobbyists who've been doing this work and this play for 50-some years. The society is now in year 56. There's a huge divide across like the digital border. So it used to be, hobbyists would keep physical records in their basement and maybe they were lost to flooding. And now there's like younger people in the society who manage digital databases. Like we have the Kingdom of the Mid-Realm Wikipedia, but only some people are on that. Only the people who are comfortable with the digital platforms.
Uh-huh.
There's a divide.
And you do that sort of thing for a living, do you?
Yes, in the real world, I work over at Northern Illinois University as the preservation coordinator. So I work with rare books and special collections, so the old stuff, and I work with digitization, so reformatting for the new stuff. So I do that in my hobby as well.
So I guess if somebody's going to ask somebody else to get on the stick and get these records all put together, you'd be the one they'd call, right?
I am one of many. There are thousands of people who do this. So.
Okay. Prices?
So Ragnarok Rampage is very much open to the public. It's a weekend-long event. Most of the exciting stuff is on Saturday. I believe it's $15 for members. Maybe I need to look at let me look at that. There we go. All right. So if you're not a member, registration is $30 for the whole weekend. That includes camping and all 3 days. Additionally, you can also pay for Feast, which is going to be a researched and documented historical feast of foods along the Mediterranean and focusing on trade with the Indian subcontinent. If you're a member, there's a $10 discount.
Okay. Might as well name the dates, too.
Oh, yes. So this is the Father's Day weekend, so that's the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Do I have that right? Yes. Good job, me.
Good guess.
So.
All right, so that's helpful as well. Is there any deadline for getting signed up and what have you?
So you can register ahead of time, and that helps us with planning for our numbers, but you can also register right there at the gate, and there's no price difference.
This will be at the Ragnarok Rampage location in this area. We'll be at Elks Page Park on South Lowell Park Road in Dixon.
Yes, and on our website, we provide the specific geotag location for you to put into your GPS, since just Elks Page Park takes you to a field that is not our field. We're a different field.
Okay, all right. Gate hours, Friday the 13th, 2 to 5. Saturday the 14th, 9 to 3. Sunday the 15th, no gate hours. Site closes at noon.
That's right.
Disallow. And you say there is also primitive camping.
Yes.
Does that mean in period or?
So some people do try to create a medieval style encampment, and they'll do things like coat their coolers in wooden boxes to make the illusion as complete as they can.
Sure.
So while there is a building with running water and a kitchen on site, everyone's camp will be a tent. There are no RV hookups or standing washrooms. We'll have porta potties and a couple of hand washing stations, and of course water in water containers everywhere. But people should anticipate you're going into the woods to camp.
Okay.
It's the 61st year of a Dixon tradition. The 2025 Petunia Festival returns July 3rd through 6th with fireworks, music, the carnival, and memories in the making. Plan your weekend at petuniafestival.org.
All family activities?
So there's a wide range. We do have children's programming. We even have things like archery for youth. We have arts and crafts that are suitable for younger people. We have, I believe you can start doing foam fighting if you're like a very young kid, and we do have youth fighting available for the teens. There's also items that are like after dark hours that are gated for 18 and up. We have a historically themed drag show as our Saturday night entertainment.
Okay.
And I should mention on Friday, we have the very traditional Right and Honorable pillow fight with a youth bracket and an adult bracket.
Okay.
With fabulous prizes.
Was that something that was done back then, or do you know?
That started about 5 years ago.
Okay.
So, very traditional.
I can't even imagine what they were using for pillows back then, so it might be a little more painful.
Hair.
Oh,
Most historical
stuffed with
pillows
hair.
are hair.
Okay.
Yep. Unless you're very rich, and then you get the feathers.
Yeah. And of course, the mattresses were probably all stuffed with straw and hay and that sort of thing.
Or were woven rope. That's a popular one.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense as well. All right. What sort of person do you think would be, if they're not interested already, might be interested in showing up?
I'd like to invite absolutely anybody who doesn't mind a bit of sun and enjoys either hitting each other with sticks for fun and pleasure, or hanging out and doing arts and crafts with friends. We get a lot of people out of like nerd cultures. So if you have frequented conventions or you like doing tabletop games with your friends, we are your people. We also get a lot of performing arts people. We have done like Shakespeare days. We've done Commedia dell'arte is a really popular thing that gets done, you know, Italian comedic performances.
Sure.
We also do a lot of what we call bardic, which is mostly singing songs together. And sometimes these are very comedy oriented. And like I've even gone to events where the theme had a murder mystery involved. So like you're doing the rest of your day and also a murder is happening and you get to solve it.
Okay. So not exactly a Renaissance fair, but
Adjacent.
yeah, something close to and possibly overlapping in some ways.
There's a lot of overlap. There's more to actually do with us. I think at a Renaissance fair, you're mostly going to watch things and like walk around and observe. Whereas with our events, we like to get in and do things. We have classes where you can learn how to spin yarn from wool, or make jewelry from silver or pewter, or learn how to sew clothes like this.
Sure. Was this handmade by you or someone else?
A friend and I worked on this together. Her mother did the embroidery on the neck and the sleeves. I know who made this bracelet personally. I know who made this coronet personally, and have gotten the opportunity to learn from all of them.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Are there sales going on?
There are merchants. There's also always what is called the silent auction. So we are a nonprofit organization. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. And so as part of maintaining our budget so we can continue doing events, we also have like a silent auction. And this will often have items that are handcrafted by these artisans, or raw materials, or maybe somebody has upgraded their campsite. And so now their tent is for sale. So it's a good shopping opportunity for especially people who are new in the organization.
Okay. Money going back into the organization itself? Or
Exactly, to cover things like the site rental or the feast food, that kind of thing.
Very good. Well, I appreciate you coming up.
I'm so glad to be able to talk about our medieval hobby.
Well, and I'm sure more people will be interested in knowing what it's all about. So thank you, Sata. And hope we can talk more about this in the future.
Absolutely.
This is, again, Friday, June 13th through Sunday, June 15th at the Elks Page Park, 7883 South Lowell Park Road in Dixon. And if you get online, you can click for a map to know exactly where you're going. Gate hours again, Friday the 13th from 2 to 5, Saturday the 14th, 9 to 3, Sunday the 15th, no gate hours, site closes at noon. And there is some admission, but I'm sure you can find that online as well, or with a well-placed phone call. So thanks again. Anything you'd like to add that we haven't touched on?
I definitely want to invite people to come for our feast particularly. The person who is doing the feast is an incredible artisan, and this is a rare opportunity to taste the medieval era of a portion of land that is pre-colonial. So a lot of people, when they think about like Indian food, what you're thinking of is a post-colonial food, which is great. I love Indian food.
Sure.
But this is an opportunity to taste what the food was like before those cultures contacted. And so the recipes are very different, and they're mostly lost to us. So it's a rare chance to enjoy tastes you don't get.
And I would imagine a lot of wild stuff, as in hunted and gathered.
Mostly vegetarian.
Okay.
Mostly. There's some meat items, but we also make sure to always have options for vegans, vegetarians, people with gluten intolerances, and all of the common, like, modern considerations. So.
All right. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It sounds interesting. All right. The Ragnarok Rampage 2025, Things with Wings, Valkyrie. And we appreciate the fact that this is coming up. It's in Dixon once again, in case you're wondering. And I'd like to thank my guest for coming up. I'm Mark Morris. Hope you can join us next time along the rock.